We want to get some perspective from two members of the Latino community who have been strong advocates of immigration reform. Joining me this morning, Petra Falcon. She is the executive director of Promises Arizona, which is sending a busload of people to the president's appearance in Las Vegas today. And there to await them is Astrid Silva. She is a so-called dreamer. She was actually singled out by President Obama last night in his speech for her efforts since being brought to America. Good morning to both of you. Thank you so much. I want your reaction, and Petra, I'll start with you. Your reaction to what you heard the president lay out last night in his speech.
We were just so excited, so joyful, so thankful. The president's actions last night is going to transform millions of people's lives, individuals like Astrid, but also a woman in Arizona who's lived in the United States 16 years as a 13-year-old U.S. citizen child that will no longer have to live in fear. We were just so joyful and thankful.
Astrid, how about you? What was your reaction to hearing the plan from the president, his executive order?
To me, it was complete relief to know that my family is not going to be in fear that immigration is going to come to our door. My dad has an order of deportation, and knowing that this is happening means that we won't have to worry that this is going to be our last holidays together.
But we also know it's not a perfect plan. There are aspects that are left out of the plan. What, to you, Astrid, do you think is missing from the immigration reform plan?
Well, to me, what's missing is that it's a law by Congress since they refuse to act on it. But one of the things that is it is disheartening to us is that a lot of the parents of other students who are undocumented are not included. But we know that we're going to continue fighting for them, and this is not the end. We are not done with this.
And Petra, how about you? I know that you've been active in working to get reform happening. You know you've been acting on the community level, on the ground level. What are you hearing from people in and around the community about what they feel was missing in this plan, the people maybe that were left out?
The people who were left out. We're grateful that they do have extended family members that are going to qualify for the action presented last night. But they've been part of the movement. They've been part of Promise Arizona. They've been part of the national movement. They've gone to Washington. They've been part of the fast. They've been part of the door knocking that we've been doing in Arizona. And our fight will continue. We are going to celebrate this moment, but we also know that there are still people left out, and we need to continue until we have comprehensive immigration reform out of Congress.
Oh, another president mentioned you at some length, Astrid, last night. Let's listen to that. And then I want to ask you what it was like to be featured in the president's address.
Astrid was brought to America when she was 4 years old. Her only possessions were a cross, her doll, and the frilly dress she had on. When she started school, she didn't speak any English. Today, Astrid Silva is a college student working on her third degree. Are we a nation that kicks out a striving, hopeful immigrant like Astrid? Or are we a nation that finds a way to welcome her in?
Astrid, what did it feel like to have the president highlight your story? This is your life.
It was completely unexpected. I didn't know that it was coming. We planned our watch party for all of our volunteers and the families that we work with to watch it. And to be honest, I didn't hear my name because we were just very excited. We were clapping until somebody said, you know, he's talking about you. And when he started talking about the cross and my dress, and I said,
uh-oh, that's me.
That's how I came here. Yeah, and then that's when everything came in, and it was just very emotional. I was standing next to my dad, and so just being there, it was definitely a moment that I'll never forget.
Petra, we know that Republicans are not happy with this plan, and they are threatening some sort of action. We've heard all sorts of talk about the way they're going to go about that. They say that he's overreaching his powers. Are you concerned what this could mean down the line, or potentially even the fact that all of this could get overturned by the time the next president comes into power?
Well, first of all, the president has all the authority to act on an executive order. In fact, in the last 60 years, President from Eisenhower to Ronald Reagan to John F. Kennedy and George W. Bush all have had executive orders. In fact, there's been 39 executive actions in the last 60 years. What's important is that the president did act. And secondly, that before we start condemning the president's actions, we need to condemn the fact that daily we have had over 1,000 deportations because Congress has not acted. So Congress, as Astrid said, has to provide comprehensive immigration reform. And if they were to put a bill before the House, there are enough votes to pass a reform bill at this moment.
Petra, thank you so much for being here with me this morning and sharing your thoughts. Astrid, we know you're going to be meeting the president. We'll be curious to hear what you say to him and what your hopes are for the future. Ladies, thank you so much for this conversation.